Able to practice everything? Hello, Wisdom, I think I can hear you. Let's see how it goes. You want to make some changes? After being activated or saved? So what's your practice area? I'm asking about your info area. Okay. So what is that you want to go for some change? So this factor, okay? So what is that you want to change? Okay. Correctly defined. I didn't get you. The description. That's okay. Now we can just go to change mode. We can change it. Right? Technical name we cannot change it. You cannot change the technical name. You can only change the description. You cannot since in the internal tables object is going to be stored by using technical name. If you want to change the technical name, remove the object and try to create a new one. You cannot change the technical name, Wisdom. If you want to change, try to create a new one, that's all. Okay. I'm not clear with your question. No. What is attribute master data? Master data is related to your care, na? Why you are talking about key? But we can create attribute as a key figure, like employee salary for employee. But for key figures we cannot have any attributes. On cares only we can have attribute, but we can create attribute as care, attribute as key figure, attribute as units. That's what. Yeah. No, as of now we are just talking about standard DSO. Standard DSO. As of now concentrate on standard DSO for data consolidation, and remaining we can speak about. I will get your question, Wisdom. Can I just... You are breaking also today. Voice is breaking. You are going to get it in the requirement. In the spec given to you will be given. Need not to worry about that. So when to create display, when to create navigation. You will get as part of your specification. It will be done by your warehouse architect, BW architect. It has to be distinctive. How do you know? Particular characteristic? Depends on the nature of the business, that's all. Depends on nature of the business, nature of the data. If you take out employee ID, if it is master table, employee ID is unique. If it is transaction data, it cannot be. And see, in transaction data, every transaction refers to some unique reference. Like order number, invoice number, billing number, something like that. Getting my point? Reference is going to copy the properties as well as data, but template will copy only properties of other objects. It's going to, if it is template, it's going to copy the properties like data type, length, attributes of other objects. Let's say I'm creating material ID. By using template as product ID, what happens? The data type and length of product ID is copied to material ID and even including attributes. But if it is reference along with your property like data type, length and attribute, it's going to copy the data of your product ID, the values. Getting my point? Come again? See? I got material ID, I'm creating material ID. See? By using template product ID. So for product ID already we have given data type length, right? And we got some attributes now. So if I create material ID by using template product ID, what happens here? It's going to copy the same data type, same length, same attributes it's going to copy. But when it comes to reference, it's going to copy. It copies properties, default properties, data type, length, everything, and even data struct object. Whatever data is there for product, for the product ID, let's say about P11, it's going to copy P11. About P12, it's going to copy P12. Get my point? Any questions, anybody? Yeah. Yes, that is as part of data loading we can see. Yeah, I'm going to show you. As part of data loading, we'll start working on it. Any questions anymore? So let me tell you one by one now. Now I just want to go for data loading now. So if the design part is completed, I just want to go with now data loading. So I just want to go with the data loading now. So as part of this, from the file system, I want to upload data to SAP BW system. I just want to load data from file system to BW system. So what is the data flow and what are the configuration steps? One by one, let us see. Data flow, I just want to explain. See, data from source system. I told you there are two kinds of data, right? One is master data, second one transaction data. Master data further divided in terms of attribute, text, and hierarchy. Right. Master data, attribute data, text data, and hierarchy data, even including transactional data. Right. And I told you always in the line we have to upload master data first, then we have to go for transaction data loading. So first we'll go by master data, then we'll go by transaction data loading. So let me tell you the data flow. In the source system, see to that the data is available. So as of now, what is your source now? Excel file system. Then what is your task? We are supposed to create a data source. And there are three types of data sources. So this is your task. Second step, creation of data source. What is data source? It is the structure of the data in the source system. So with the required Excel structure, we are going to create a data source. And there are three types of, the first one, source. And even in source system, if it is file system, well and good. If it is other systems, say other than file systems, even we have to create data source. So what is data source? It is the structure of the data in the source system. So what is there? Always you are going to have source columns. If it is Excel header is your data source. Then to the BW system, we are supposed to copy the same data source. Copy the same data source which is already created. And there are three types of data sources. One is master data, attribute, master data, text, and hierarchies must be uploaded by using 3.x. As of now, concentrate on 7 process. Don't go by 3.x. As of now, concentrate on your 7 data flow. So I'm just talking to you the 7 data flows. And the third one, you got transaction data. These are the three types of data sources. And where the data is loaded to the data target. Ultimately, if it is master data, to the master tables, transaction data, DSO, and to info. Right? So see to that we have to verify we have got required data target. Right. So check for data target where you want to load. Where the data must be loaded, we have to verify if it is master data, characteristic tables, if it is transaction data, DSO, and info. So these are the different steps. Now I told you ETL. What is ETL? Right. What is transformation? Mapping of source, in this case data source, columns with data target. Mapping of source columns with data target. So what is that? So that's where we are supposed to create transformation. This is your fourth task. So we are supposed to create transformation. Create transformation where we are supposed to map data source columns with data target columns. Any questions? So in data source I got source columns. In data target I got BW columns. Both the columns must be mapped. Unless and until it is mapped, we cannot transfer the data. Then create info package. So what's going to happen from the source? It's going to upload data to data source. Info package. That's a scheduler which is going to load the data. Right. It loads data. Buffer location. First I told you we are supposed to load the data to buffer location. So that's nothing but data source. If it is in 3.5, info package can load data till data target. But in 7, info package can load data till data source only. That is PSA. From data source, this is your fifth task. From data source, there are two types of info packages, of course. There are two types of info packages. There are two types of info packages. One is standard info package. Second one, real-time or push-enabled info package. Real-time or push-enabled info package. Right. Then from data source or you can say it as PSA, buffer location. Then from data source, if I want to load data to data target, I'm supposed to use something called DTP, data transfer process. Data transfer process, or you can say it as DTP. Using this, we can load data from data source to data target. Using this, we can load data from data source to data target. And there are four types of DTPs. There are four types of DTPs. Standard DTP, real-time DTP, DTP for direct access, and error DTP. So these are the different types of DTPs. Right. See, data from source system. The data is loaded to data source, that is PSA, by using info package. From PSA, by reading transformation, while uploading data by using DTP, it's going to read transformation and it's going to pass the data to data target. This is very important activity, this transformation is very, very important activity using which we can load data, we can map the source columns with data target columns. Any questions? Anybody? It depends. Even we can map with one column also. Concatenations. Any questions still? Again, wisdom. To transfer the data from data source to data target, we have to trigger DTP. To transfer the data from data source to data target, DTP, data transfer process. Which used, still. It's going to be very easy. Same 6 steps. Every time we are going to follow same 6 steps. Every time we are supposed to follow same 6 steps. Any data loading. Right. So let me start loading the data. I just want to go by master data loading. I'm starting with master data loading. First I'll go with attribute data loading. I just want to go by attribute data loading. Let me explain you. So employee attribute data I want to upload. Employee attribute data. First step, you have to have a source file. So in the line it is given by the business user. In the line it is given by the business user. Here we are everything. So the file structure is like this. Char followed by attribute 1. So what is that? We are trying to upload attributes. So that's what attribute 2, attribute 3, like this. So if you are uploading, let's say for example employee master. So what is that characteristic? You got employee ID, you got address, got phone number as attributes. Address and phone number. These are the 2 attributes. For employee ID, those are the 2 attributes, address as well as phone number. That's what. So let me do it. First step, I'm just going by source file. Any questions? In the line this is given by the user. Employee ID, address, phone number. Just giving some dummy values. Employee 100, address is, let's say for example New York, some phone number. Some phone number, I'm just making it as. Employee 200, New York, some phone number. So 300, I'm just making it employee Chicago, some number. 400. Come again. It's okay. Right. So save as. Say it has to be, the file must be saved in CSV format. Since BW system allows only 2 formats. File must be saved in CSV, comma separated values. Second one, ASCII format. The BW system is going to allow only 2 formats data. One is CSV, second one ASCII format, comma separated values. As of now, I'm just going by CSV. So save it as. I'm just making attribute file. Save it as Flexi in keyboard. It's going to give you CSV, comma delimited. Save it. So with OK, click on yes. Just go with OK, click on yes. Right, close this. Now see about the source file. Now the second step, I'm supposed to create the data source, and the type of data source is master data attribute, where it's going to copy your Excel structure. It's going to copy your Excel structure. Now I'm just going for creation of data source. Create data source. So this is master data attribute data source. Create master data attribute data source. That's what. So you can just go to. Before going to that, I just want to show you how to create a file type system. Since I want to upload data from file type system, I just want to show you how to create a file type system. Say we are in source systems, and this is file type system. So right click, go with create. You can just give the name, followed by description, and click on continue. So just use the same file system. Don't create once again. You can make use of same file type sources. Instead of using a new one, you can just use the existing file type system. Don't create new, use the existing one. And get your question. Can you just drop a message in Wisdom? What's that you're trying to speak? Now you can see the file type system is created. Can you just drop a message here? Yeah, you can just use the existing. Now you can use this file type system. You can use this file type system now. Now, see what is that you want to create? You want to create a data source. The second task, data source itself is PSA, which is a buffer location. That's what I was telling you. Where the data is staged for a temporary purpose for modifications. See, with respect to system architecture, I was just referring to all of them. Right. So now, see, this is a file type system, and just going by display data source tree. So select root node data sources. This is the topmost node, root node data sources. Right click, create application component. You can see that. Right click, create application component. I'm just making it as name and description. So what a sales service. Application component and description. Click on continue. Just click on continue. Now you can see this is your application component for sales service. So now what's your object? You want to create data source. So right click on application component. You can see here create data source. Right. Now you can just give the data source name. I'm just giving data source name as employee attribute, and data source type is master data attribute. Hence we are loading attribute data. Just click on continue. You can just maintain the descriptions. These descriptions are mandatory. Click on extraction. Click on extraction. What it is asking, the file is loaded from local workstation. Later we'll talk about application server. So as of now we are just uploading data from local workstation. Browse and choose your part of the file, as you can see. So it is your desktop, you can just choose that. So in that I just want to ignore the header row. So what is that? Header rows to be ignored? 1. The header rows to be ignored 1, and the data format is CSV. See, CSV comma separated values. In CSV data is separated by comma, escape sign, semicolon. This is standard everywhere. So in the Excel you got header row. I want to ignore that header row. Why to upload header row? Already got a header rows. I just want to upload only records. I just want to upload only records. Now, proposal, load example data. In the proposal tab, I'm just copying my Excel structure. along with your records you can see here. Now just go to Fields tab. So this is your, these are all your Excel data type unlines. So it could be causing some issues in the future data loads. To avoid this, what is that I'm doing? I'm replacing these Excel columns with BABW columns. Just replacing these Excel columns with BABW columns. So what is this? Employee ID. Then address. Is attribute. Yes, you can see here address. Next one, phone number. Yeah, just enter. So once you fill the columns with the BABW column, just press enter. Now you can see the data type and lines are replaced by BABW columns. The data type and lines are replaced by BABW columns. Click on activate. Just click on activate. Now it is activating your data source. We should have data target now. So that is your next task. Master data tables now. So since it is master data, we got data source. So now we are talking about data target. So since it is master data, you have to go by insert char as info provider. I told you master data is loaded to characteristic. So we have to insert the concern char as info provider. So now you can just give the naming convention. Just go to info providers. Right click on info area. What is this? What is that? Insert char as info provider. Now you can just give required char. If it is employee, product, material, vendor. That's what. So we have to give the required characteristic for which you want to load master data. You can see hierarchy target, you can see attribute target, you can see text target. Then the next task, I am supposed to map between data source to data target. So that's where you can create transformation. Just create transformation. Using this, we can map data source columns with data target columns. And there are different types of transformations. Mappings, there are different types of transformations. One is info object, nothing but one-to-one mapping. Info object, next one constant is a fixed value. I'll talk to you all of them. Routine, then formula, then initial value, then read master data attribute. So these are the different types of transformations. Let me show you. See, transformation can be created from source as well as target. So this is our target. If you want to create, right click, create transformation. Even if you want to create from data source, see from data source and there, you can go with create transformation. So when you find, click on create transformation. So target, see if we are creating from source, maintain target. If we are creating from target, maintain source. So the target is info object and the subtype is attribute. The subtype is attribute. If it is text, go by text. What is hierarchy? Go by hierarchy. Hierarchy is saying it is not supported. So now you can just choose your square for which you want to load master data. Choose your characteristic for which you want to load master data. Then click on continue. You can see employee to employee, address to address, phone number to phone number. This is data source column and this is data target column. And if you want to check the transformation mapping rule, double click on that equal. You can see constant direct assignment. Nothing but one-to-one mapping. In data source you got employee ID. In data target you got employee ID. Same we are mapping. And you can see all the other rules. We can talk about it. Don't worry. Then click on activate. Right, now the mapping is done. I just need to go by info package. I just want to create info package. Next step. Info package. Right click on data source. I told you info package is going to load the data from source to data source. Info package can load the data from source to data source, nothing but PSA. Right click on data source, create info package. You can just give the description of info package, save it. Everything default here, extraction tab, everything default, processing only PSA, update, full update. So whatever data is there in source, all the data is going to be uploaded. So schedule, click on start. Now the data is getting loaded to data source. Now the data is loaded to data source. Now if you want to monitor, we have to check it whether it is successful or not. Just click on monitor, you can see here, otherwise you can go by monitor here. If you want to go by date wise monitoring, you can give that, otherwise just execute. So you can see here, it was successfully loaded to PSA. If you want to check data in PSA, you can just go to PSA maintenance. Just go with continue. Just click on continue. So you got some 4 records, just go by continue. So you can see employee ID, address and phone number, where system has added some additional columns like status, packet, record numbers and all. Status, packet, record number, everything you can see. Right. So we got data that is loaded to data source. Now from data source, I am supposed to load data to data target. That's where we can create DTP. Right click on data source, create DTP. Everything default. You can see source of the DTP, target of the DTP, DTP type is standard DTP. Everything default. Just continue. Activate once. First of all, you have to activate the DTP. You can just go through all these options. We can see all of them, don't worry. Click on execute, go with execute. Now the data is getting loaded from data source to data target. So I'll show you all the options, need not to worry. So once again I'll take up. So it says request has status, do you want to show the status? Yes. It says everything is successful. So let us verify the data whether it is loaded to data target or not. So just go to target. The request is available for reporting, transfer from source, add it to the target. Contents. Click on contents. Go with execute. So now you can see here employee address and phone number. So Now the attribute data is loaded to target. And once again I'll take up tomorrow. Try to have a practice. Saying fixed tests, any data loading. You need to have the practice. Otherwise you are going to miss all the things I'm telling you. You need to have some practice at least. Any questions? I'll take